So this is the old dash cam that I have that I'm going to be replacing. The reason why is because it acts up sometimes and I really don't want to deal with that. The whole reason of you having a dash cam is so that it records constantly. And if I'm going to have a dash cam that is going to cut off every other minute because I don't know why, then that doesn't make any sense. So first off, let's start off with the rear view mirror that I have right here. This is just the normal, basic rear view mirror that Toyota has on their 4Runners. And on my old Palisade, I had that rear view mirror that when you do this, it shows you the back on a digital camera and displays it on here, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that's why I was interested in this camera, first of all. And then second of all, 4K, 2.5K, and 1080p cameras all around the car. That's awesome. So let's do first the easy install, which is going to be using the cigarette car adapter. So on my 4Runner, the car lighter adapter power source is right there. So plug it in there, and there is a blue light that you can see right there. Jeez, this is hard to turn. All right, so then from there, all you have to do is route this cable to the actual camera. I opted to take the actual rear view mirror out, so you're gonna need some tools for this. What I used was a hex bit, so you can see right here, and a screwdriver, and the nut comes out. The bolt comes out. So now let's see how we could mount this this new bracket on. The mount is actually there, so maybe I don't need to install the one that Wolfbox supplies, but let's see how that works. All right, so lucky me, I was able to use the one that the car already comes with. So all I have to do is screw that bolt back in, and that's it. But it works with the factory one, so maybe that's just me. I got lucky, but maybe you might need to use the one that Wolfbox supplies. Because now that I decided to actually hard mount this or make it a permanent thing, I have to remove these little rubber feet right here. So I'm going to remove these. I'm guessing behind this there's a screw, and then that screw, once you remove that screw, you can remove this bracket right here and then install the permanent bracket. So let's do that, and then I'll show you guys how that looks. All right, so once you remove those clips, they're going to look like this. You're going to reuse that hardware, so just be careful because they're really small screws. You don't want to lose them. I already lost one of those little feet that was here. So it's in the car, so it's not lost, but it's just somewhere. But just be careful, they're really small screws, and then you're going to have to reuse those to mount this bracket on the back of the dash cam. Now you're going to use the hardware that is provided on the bracket mount to install those 4 screws right in here. Just make sure that you have it on the right orientation. I would suggest you do this before you put this on. So don't put this first, because then how are you gonna screw those that hardware on there? It's gonna be a little bit difficult. So I suggest you do this here first, and then you slide that on the mount on the car, and then you tighten it up from the back. So let me do that off camera, because I only have 2 hands and I can't do this and record at the same time. So after you're done installing that hardware, this is how it's going to look. This feels pretty solid. It doesn't feel flimsy at all. So it does look like a normal rear view mirror. So that's another plus. I would suggest take your time. You don't need any experience to do this. Just take your time and be patient, and you'll be fine. And I had to connect this thing to get to it. Man, it just looks super freaking cool. Now this is just the 4K front camera. and it already looks super badass. Let me see, Wolfbox. No, I thought it did that. There's like a voice command here. Lock the video. Woo! Very nice. All right, so now I am going to install the SD card, which is super simple. It's on the top of the rear view mirror, and you just slide it in. So it's already recording, and it looks badass, honestly. And I am using the 12-volt outlet right here, the cigarette adapter, and you can route this up here like I have these cables. Once I am done, I am going to make this look way better, but I just couldn't hold back, and I had to turn it on and see how it looks. This part of the process is going to depend on your vehicle. I have a 4Runner. I am going to put the link down in the description on another link or another video that shows you how to remove this rear spoiler. I'm not going to do that here because it's going to take a long time. But where I'm going to mount it is, I'm going to mount it right here. And then I routed that cable through there, and it's coming down through this bracket right here. And then it's going to go down through there and down through here, all the way to the front. Now this is going to be vehicle dependent, so just know that if you have another car, you're going to have to do a little different process. And they also do have the, what do you call that, the license plate bracket, and that one's probably going to be a little bit easier to install. And you also don't have to do any of this. You can just route it through the inside trims and then hook it up to the window. The reason I'm doing this is because this window does roll down, so you can't really do that on this car. Cable management is done. It's routed through here, and then it goes down through here. I am going to tape this up since I'm not going to use that, and then I'll push it through there, but this took me way too long. And then this one goes right there. This is the back camera. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use this 3M strip to glue it to this light right here, and hopefully that sticks there for good. Let me use some IPA to clean this, dry it out, and then I'm going to use this 3M sticky. This comes with the kit. I'm going to place it back here. Now I've had good results with these 3M stickies, so it's not a bad deal to have these outside. What I would say is use isopropyl alcohol, because this helps make it adhere to the plastic. All right, and then clean out the surface area where you're going to adhere it to. I'm going to adhere it right here underneath this brake light, and then I'm going to put the camera right there. So let me dry this out. And that's how that's going to look. Now, if you do have a 4Runner, you're probably going to have to remove this trim right here just to route that cable that goes from the monitor all the way back. And just keep that in mind. Just saying, it's going to be a little bit, but it's going to be worth it. All right, so the front camera is installed, and when you're installing these, make sure that you don't pass them through these fins right here. If you have a 4Runner, a new one, because those fins, they open and close, so just be careful with that. You don't want that to be in the way and then it not being able to close. This cable management that I'm going to have to fix here later, they do provide you with some cable management clips, so I'm going to fix that here later. And the camera is secure right underneath the emblem right here. This cable goes through this whole area right here, and then I've routed it through here, and then there's that hole right there, and that goes into the cabin, and then through the cabin through down here, and then routed up through the frame, and then through this the windshield right up here and into the camera. I'm going to put the cover here later because I have to fix it, but all I have to do now is install the power, connect it to the OBD2, install power, and all the cameras should be set. All right, so this is the final installment. The time right now is not 5:27, so that's an hour away or an hour back. But if you could see, there is that GPS module has been installed. It's right there, and I routed it all the way up through there. Super simple. Now, again, based on your vehicle, you might have certain issues, like where mine is placed. You see a little bit of the mount right here for the dash, and to me, that's a big whatever. I don't think that's gonna impede any issues with the camera. So let's go ahead and swap out. Here you have a view of the 3 cameras. This is the rear 2.5K. This is the 1080p in the front, and then this right here is the Wolfbox main camera. So Wolfbox main, front bumper, rear bumper. And in person, I know there's like this sunlight right here, which is really annoying. Unfortunately, I can't really do much about, you know, nature. But this is pretty responsive too. Here you could just use the rear. And you can adjust the camera angle, so you could go to the back and adjust it however you want. It looks really crisp. Here's the front bumper camera, and again, it looks really nice. Not bad at all. And that's the main 4K camera right there. Now you could tell that the front bumper is a 1080p camera, but it has a really nice high dynamic range, and that's a plus, even though it's not really 4K. So I'm going to go back there, adjust them, and I'm going to connect to the phone app so that way I could see what I'm doing on the phone, and I'll give you guys an update. Man, I am super freaking hyped about this. I am glad I did this. I don't know how much this makes my car look 10 times, 100 times way better. GPS right here, speed, lane keep, you know, recording, 4K, your time, date, day. You can turn on the Wi-Fi. I think it's still connected to my phone. That's why it won't let me do anything. But it's so freaking cool. So let's look at the phone. So here's the you could do playback, which is what it recorded. It's pretty cool. You could preview. Let me hide where I'm at, but you could switch the cameras, front, back, bumper, and then the main camera, record, snapshot, mirror. On the bottom is your location with speed. Pretty freaking cool. Tells you how many gigabytes are left. Audio recording, speaker volume, video resolution. You could change that if you want. I changed my loop recording for 3 minutes. Kilometers, miles per hour if you want to do that. 24-hour format. G sensitivity. You could go low, medium, high. Parking mode. G trigger recording 12-hour, 24-hour, 48-hour loop. And you could, if you have multiple cars, multiple devices can be assigned to different cars. For example, here's Toyota 4Runner. You can go ahead, boom, and add another one if you have another car. And that's the app in a nutshell. So guys, after this video, I will put a link on the quality. It's going to be the review. If you haven't seen the unboxing, I would suggest you go and see the unboxing to see what comes with this kit. But the rest of this install is going to be vehicle independent. So for you guys, it might not be the same for mine since I have a different car, different system. Uh, so I would suggest you use the hardwire kit. I would suggest that you hard mount the actual dash cam with the OEM bracket that replaces your old rear view mirror. Use the pry tools to push the cables in through the trims. That way you could hide the cable and take your time, right? Don't rush. That way you don't break any brackets because again, depending on how old or new your car is, you might run into some brittle brackets that might break, but nothing to do with the dash cam. So it's just vehicle dependent. As long as you route your cables, hide them, that's going to be depending on your vehicle. Just be careful when you are pulling on old trim. And that's it, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section if you need any help with certain things, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.